Welcome to MC Knitting Adventures. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. And on today's video, I am going to be showing you how I made my little polymer clay baby to match these little booties. And that's coming up right now. I would like to start off by showing you the items that I used to make this polymer clay baby. For the workspace, I just used some parchment paper. Of course, you need the silicone mold, which you can purchase on Amazon or you can check with your local craft store. Also at your local craft store, they should sell polymer clay, or you could try Amazon. Polymer clay comes in various different brands, and for this baby I used Living Doll. It's a flesh color and it works really well with this project. If you're going to be working with a lot of polymer clay in the future, I recommend to buy a polymer clay blade. It works very well with cutting long strands and even short strands. For this particular project, I also used an X-Acto knife and a pointed tool. If you don't have one of these tools, you could also use a skewer. I used a rolling pin, a ruler to make some straight edges, an old pan, and I also used some pastels for the makeup and some makeup brushes. Let's get started. Just working my clay to get it a nice texture. You want it to end up being nice and smooth. If you find that your clay is crumbly and dry, just add a little Vaseline. That will help moisten it up. Now that my clay is nice and smooth, I put it into the silicone mold, making sure that I get it into all the crevices. Now that I'm happy that it's in the mold, I take my rolling pin and just give it a couple of rolls. Here's the tricky part when using the polymer clay knife, making sure not to cut into the silicone mold because we want to make sure that we can use it another time. If you're not comfortable using the knife, you can also just try tearing it away with your fingers and just pressing it into the mold, and you can always clean it up after it comes out of the freezer. Place the mold in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes. When you're ready to take it out, the baby should come out of the mold very easily. It keeps all these little details intact. I use my X-Acto knife just to clean up all the edges. I put parchment paper over an old pan. As you can see, I made several babies. I just cover them with some foil, making it a little bit like a tent. I'm baking my babies at half the time. When they come out a little bit hard, then I find it easier to dress them. After the babies are dressed, I put them back in the oven for the other half of the time, and this seems to work really well. Now we're ready to dress the baby. I wanted this one to look like the knitting. I combined two colors, black and green, to make it darker green, perfectly close to this little booties. Roll out 2 thin strands of clay and gently twist like so. I attach the 2 strands together. Then I use these strands to begin to dress the baby. When doing the hat, I just make a ring for these strands and it looks like this. For the hair I use pastels. I just scrape a little off of the pastel and brush it on with a makeup brush. I use a different color of pastels to highlight the crevices. That gives a little bit more depth. Once finished with the makeup, I cut white clay for the trim. Once the baby is fully dressed, I put it back into the oven for a little more than half the time it states on the package. And there you have how to make a silicone baby. I hope you found this video helpful, and until next time, take care.